This is awkward. Not everything stays the same. Sometimes we have to deal with change, and it's hard, but here we go. Howdy friends, I am here to walk you through a hugely important feature in the YNAB app, and that is targets. Targets? What? Now, if you've used the app previously, then targets are what you've lovingly known as goals. They have the same features and functions as before, they just have been renamed. So I'm gonna walk you through each one and what they have the power to do. So let me go ahead and give you an overview of the 3 target types we will be covering. First, we have needed for spending. Second, our savings balance target. And lastly, our monthly savings builder target. First, we're gonna deep dive in to the needed for spending target. This target is the one I use most often because it's awesome. And honestly, you could kind of use this target type for any category, but if you want to know the specific functionality of it, here we go. With the needed for spending target type, you are telling a category that you want to fund it up to a certain amount, but you want to be able to spend from that category throughout the month. Some common ways people use the needed for spending target type are on their groceries category, their dining out category, fun money, and oh snap, miscellaneous. There are 3 different ways you can set up a needed for spending target type, and that is wanting to hit a certain target every month, hitting a certain target every week, and hitting a certain target by a certain date. I'll give an example of each one, because I always do. So if I want $400 every month to be able to spend on groceries, I'm going to click my groceries category, click create groceries goal. I want the amount to be 400 and it is a needed for spending target type. I want to make sure I have 400 every month, so I'm going to click monthly. If the category is something like a bill with a due date, you can go ahead and click the day that you need the money by, but since it's groceries and I buy groceries all month long, I'm just gonna say I want $400 by the end of the month and save this target. If you have your progress bars turned on, you'll see the funding message in the corner of your category saying $400 needed by the 31st, or whatever day is the last day of that month. So what happens if I go ahead and drop $150 in this category? You'll see that my funding message changes, telling me that I still need $250 more in this category by the end of the month. The progress bar is yellow as a way of telling us, hey, you haven't met your target yet, so make sure you add 250 more by the end of the month. So let's say I do that, add 250. Now you can see the progress bar is green, it is fully funded, and we are good to go. We have met our target. Now, as I alluded to earlier, spending targets are called spending targets because you can spend money out of the category and you won't lose progress on your target. Let's go back to our example when we only had $150 in groceries. So let's say I do go to the grocery store and spend $50. Once I record that $50 transaction in my budget, I'll come back to my groceries category and we can see that our progress bar hasn't lost any progress. It still shows that I funded $150 and I still have $250 left to meet my $400 target, but the $50 that I spent is now represented by striped yellow. This is what we mean when we say you can spend from this category without losing any progress. So now what happens when we finally meet our target? I'll show you. Let's say I got paid again, so I add $250 more to my groceries category and I am fully funded. I've hit my $400 target. Woohoo, go me. Our progress bar is fully green and it even says in the corner, funded. Satisfying. This little green check mark in the corner is telling us, good job, you met your target. So now what happens if I spend $50 at the grocery store? Store groceries, $50. My groceries category now tells me, both with my progress bar and with the funding message, that I have spent $50, but I still have that $350 left. You'll notice that we still have this green check mark even though we did spend $50, and I'll tell you why. Once a target has been fully funded, you will get that green check mark and it won't go away unless one of 3 things happens. First way you'll lose your check mark is if you actually remove budgeted money from that category. So let's say I need $50 to cover overspending somewhere else. I will subtract $50 from the budgeted column in my category, and now it's showing me, hey, you still need $50 more by the end of the month. Second way you'll lose your green check mark is if you spend every single penny in this category and you are at 0. You don't lose your check mark because you did fully fund the category, but it turns gray because you no longer have any spending money in this category. And the third way you can lose your green check mark is if you overspend in that category. So let's say I spend $450 on groceries this month. There is a really good yogurt sale. Now my green check mark is gone and it's replaced with no check mark and the color red. Now, science tells us that the color red is never good. Not actually science, but traffic lights and, you know, it means you got too happy with your swipey debit card and now we have to pay the consequences. All we gotta do is cover that overspending from some other category, and now our progress bar is fully green again, and it says fully spent just to remind us no more groceries this month. Next, let's look at a weekly needed for spending target. My primary example is doggy daycare. So let's say every Monday I need to pay $50 to doggy daycare. So like, wouldn't you just set a monthly needed for spending target for $200 a month? Yeah, that would work, except that this month actually has 5 Mondays, not 4. You think doggy daycare is gonna be like, oh, it's all right. Take a free week. We love Julep. They do love Julep, but they not that much. No matter how many Mondays are in a month, I need to give doggy daycare $50 every single Monday. So I'm gonna go to my doggy daycare category. Everyone has a doggy daycare category. Click Create Target, set the amount for $50. It is a needed for spending target, but it is weekly. Now I can say I need this money every Monday and save our target. Now if we come look at our progress bar, it's actually broken up into chunks. $50 chunks. Also, chunks is my least favorite word in the English language. This way, we have an awesome visual way to see how many weeks of doggy daycare we've actually funded. Not to mention, your budget knew that this month was a 5 Monday month, so there are 5 $50 chunks. Ugh. Segments. Let's go with segments. The budget's like, guess what? This month you need $250, just letting you know. As I start to meet my target, you'll see the different segments light up until I've fully funded my target. Fun fact, if you overspend in this category, it will actually add an additional segment to your progress bar, letting you know how much you've overspent. So you'll just want to cover that overspending, and there you go. Progress bar satisfied. Okay, now let's look at the needed for spending by date target. Let's say that I celebrate Christmas and I want to set aside $600 for Christmas to spend on gifts and gingerbread cookies and snow pants. Well, maybe not snow pants. First, create that category, click Create Target, set the amount for whatever you want, needed for spending by date. Now I'm gonna go ahead, skip forward to December and choose December 25th. Even though really I would like to have all my gifts purchased by then, but you never know, so 25th. Now what is this box? Repeat? Oh yeah, you can set up this target type to repeat every single year for December 25th. So let's say I want it to repeat every 1 year. Save the goal, and it's gonna tell me exactly how much money I need to put in this category every month in order to save $600 by Christmas. So wait, why wouldn't we make that a saving target? Well, do you buy all of your Christmas presents on Christmas Day? No. If you're me, you're buying Christmas presents in September. You see that perfect gift for your brother and you're like, I just can't wait. So, doesn't matter if it's September, you buy the thing, you categorize it to your Christmas category because it's a Christmas gift, and then you can see that the spending is accounted for, but you haven't lost any of your funding progress. That is the beauty of a needed for spending target. And it's worth noting, what if life happens and you can't add any money to your Christmas category this month? Budget says it's okay. When you get to that next month, your target will recalculate how much money you now should put in there every month in order to still reach your $600 target by December 25th. That's some good stuff, people. When your budget is smarter than yourself. I don't even think that was grammatically correct. Just more proof. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our savings balance target. This one is a lot simpler than our needed for spending target because there's just less you can do, which is good. This is the target type you want to use if you're trying to stash up a bunch of money for one thing further down the road. I'll also say that this target type works best if you know the general price tag that you're trying to save for, like $20,000 for a down payment on a house or $2,000 for a camera. The thing that makes a savings balance target different from a needed for spending target is that if I do end up needing to spend or borrow money out of that category, it will set back my progress. Let me show you an example. Let's say I want to save $10,000 for a car. Click on your car category and add a target. I want to save $10,000 as a savings balance target. And here you can see you have the option to just ambiguously save $10,000 over time, or you can go ahead and add a date you want to have that money by. So let's say my car has another 2 years in it and I want to get a new one in May of 2023. I can add May 2023 and cross my fingers that my Buick actually survives the next 2 years. Let's say I have successfully funded this category $5,000. I know, I'm good. But I dropped my laptop in a pond and I didn't think to save up for it before, so now I need a new laptop. Don't work near ponds also. That is not the place for a laptop. So I buy a new laptop for $1,000 and I didn't think to save for the laptop before this, so I'm gonna have to borrow $1,000 from my car category. When I remove $1,000 from this category, you'll see that my progress actually goes back. Because my car category doesn't want me to spend any money from it because it's trying to save money for itself. You know what I'm saying? And if I do, it's going to make me pay the price. Literally, because I'm gonna have to add $1,000 more to it. This makes for great accountability and helps you to not cut corners too much. Because if you really want to replace your pond-stricken laptop, then you're gonna have to think real hard about that Nespresso machine. The savings balance target really creates good accountability and motivation because no one wants to see their progress get backtracked. So, like I said before, if there's no due date on the thing you want to buy or pay for, great, throw money in there whenever you can. But if you know the date you want the money by, go ahead and add that to your savings balance target and it will tell you exactly how much money to put in there every month in order to reach your target by the time you want. And like we said earlier, if there is a month where I just don't have extra money to put toward this target, it will recalculate in the next month and tell you, okay, now you need to put in this much money every month. So your budget really does its best to help you reach your target. It's on your side. Our third and final target type is the monthly savings builder. Obviously, this one is also a savings-oriented target type. However, the difference is, with a savings balance target, you are saving for a specific amount of money, like $10,000 for a car. Whereas with the monthly savings builder target, you are deciding to put in the exact same amount to that category every single month, no matter what, until you disable the target. Some great examples of when to use this target type: if you're saving for a future wedding. You have no idea how much it's gonna cost, but you know that you need to start saving for it now. So maybe you decide to throw $200 into your wedding category every month. Maybe you are building a vet fund, so you say, I wanna put $50 into my vet fund category every month. This target type is the absolute best way to make sure that nothing catches you off guard. You're always putting money away for those car repairs, for that vacation, for the inevitable vet visit. This is what YNAB is about. And that's it. Those are the 3 target types in YNAB. Use them however you want to save for this, to spend for that, and you will be shocked at how prepared you are now. You'll have money when the car breaks down. You'll know that you've already spent an absurd amount on groceries this month and you just need to stop. So really just harness the power of the targets in your budget and you will be on your way in no time. As always, so grateful that you watched this video. See you guys next time. My nose itches. Alrighty, we're gonna film a video once my nose up. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing with my arms. That makes me feel pretty good about myself. How's this looking? Oh, shoot-tee-pa-doot-tee.